I knew it. I knew it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Knew it.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why
Not
don't
really.
we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh, aka the Biscuit Eater, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of my short form Let's Play of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Ultimate? Is it Ultra Deluxe? I can't remember now because I changed the name on the load screen here. Aka the remake of the Stanley Parable with some silly new content. If you're new to the series, do know you can find a link to the playlist in the description down below. That's, of course, if you're watching on YouTube. If you are watching live on stream, do know that I appreciate having you here. It's always fun to have folks to interact with, to talk to while I play the game, to have them make suggestions, or backseat drive in the majority of my games, or interrupt me with blurbs, interrupt me with all the various options that are available on the live stream. Of course, if you do want to watch live and you just want to sit there and enjoy the sound of my voice and the sound of my torment, that's perfectly fine too. Lurkers are just as welcome here. I appreciate every pair of eyes that are on the channel here. I appreciate you, so thank you for being here, one and all. That being said, if you would like to join us live, you can do so every Monday and Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/The Biscuit Eater. One of these days, I will get through an intro without making an ass of myself. It'll happen. But I deserve that. Anyways, let's go ahead and start the game, shall we? Now, we've done multiple endings so far, and that's kind of what the whole purpose of this game is just to find the various story endings. So that's what we're getting to here. So, let's see. We're going to go ahead. We already know the story of Stanley. So one of the first things... Oh, I got the Welcome Back achievement. How nice.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle
I wondered if that was possible.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Nope.
Here it comes.
Quickest game ever. Okay, another one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I knew it. I knew it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Knew it.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
Not really.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
Probably.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
No.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay. Oh, do I have to actually quit to desktop? I'm going to have to quit to menu and begin the game again. I'm going to do the window with a bucket in a moment, but first I want to actually... I want to click.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the
Okay, I wasn't sure if I
game's
could just
design
begin the
all
game
along.
again.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
No.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Oh dear.
The truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence
Quite terrible.
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Doom, 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 doom. It's gonna basically just do this over and 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 over. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Next, let's go get the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
Its brow,
No,
said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
he went Gollum there.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
What? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We're going to go ahead
Stanley
and...
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced
Something else I needed to do.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
That's changed. Small plane objects appeared across the office. We have to synergize the research to ensure the retrieval. There are many questions. There was no memo from management. Agenda. How can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took pictures of them? Maybe we are the collectibles? Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local audio sources upon using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recording allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noises. Data shows that, in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be rumors off a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? Why wouldn't they tell us something will happen? This investigation in this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Are these actually clues? Well then.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works.
There, now we got the
because
second
sticker
sticker.
is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Okay, so now we're going to go up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We're going to the boss's office. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Oh, hey, Crippled Hydra, thank you for joining. Really appreciate you. And thank you for the lurk.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Except we just learned the bucket's true form. I've never noticed that before. Does that mean anything?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I'm going to do the on button
Horrible
ending
secret did
with the
this place
bucket.
hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the
We've
bucket
already been
under
all
the
through this,
mind
so it's kind of
control
hard to do
facility's influence as well?
commentary,
Had
but
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, He could trust
Oh,
no one
in the room
over
below.
the bucket.
Really? Okay, I'll have to check that out.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when
Right, without the bucket, absolutely.
an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
What?
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Aww. Aww. Silly, silly birds. Okay, let's go ahead and head to the...
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
No, Mr. Bucket, we're not taking you this time. I pressed one button. Okay, maybe I'll have to come back to it. Doors aren't closing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I know we haven't done anything to the right yet. We'll get there, folks, I promise.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Just want to see if this actually does anything. Hopefully I tripped something so that... This is what you were talking about, going back out the door, right? Go in and go out. Oh. Gotcha. So, actually, let's check see the bathroom if there's any new phrasing. I guess I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's a lovely purse. Oh, so walk in and then walk out.
Stepping in...
Okay, that door opened again. Kind of silent without the narrator. Okay. Everything's opened back up. Oh. Oh, shit. Captain! Dang you! What's here? You are now leaving. Escape Pod Bay 4760. You have to go up another 3 flights of stairs. So I've clearly abandoned the narrator. Well, I'm glad you got a headache from laughing so hard, you son of a gun. Well done, right. Escape pod launch bay. Escape. Can't see anything really. There we go. Nice try. Oh, that wasn't an escape pod.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the mind control area and
Stanley
jump
came
off
to
the
a set of
ledge.
2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Don't remember what triggers it, but eventually the doors across will be unlocked. Gotcha.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. Okay. Well, we know that the door is unlocked now, so we'll go ahead.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Wah 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 wah
wah, wah, wah. Oh, it's gonna lock again? Dag nabbit.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward
Well,
into the opened passageway.
Well, you want to Google foo, see what actually triggers it?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We will go to the escape room at some point, but want to do this first. Ow.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we
give it to me.
covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of
There isn't
music
anything
just
here.
for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
I wish there was something to show you guys.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
I tried. I did. I was like, there's nothing. Okay. One more time down
All his
the
co-workers were
right-hand door.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I got the feeling money's for stealing. Okay, we're back to that one. Oh, hey, there we go. Indoors monthly. Graphs. Oh. Business strategy. Point a gun at a panda. Wonder if we can go up or down. I love how the narrator is kind of bopping out to it too. Interesting that he hasn't said anything. Gee, how tall is this building? Wait. Oh, was it just that I got too impatient and I pressed the button? Or is this always going to be this ending? That's it, huh? That's all it is, isn't it? Okay.
Okay, I think we all...
There. Oh, that's new. I think that's a glitch. I found a glitch. I have a thought. It may be only a minuscule thought. Oh, and I got to jump over the edge with the bucket as well. Oh wait, where's the bucket? Walk right past the bucket. Past the bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
Oh,
With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
He came back to me. Okay, so just wondering if there's going to be any difference with the bucket. Oh, this one guy... I don't know when you're trolling me now, or I don't know when I can trust you anymore, Cap. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, this time it's actually going to give me something. Oh, no. Bucket. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye, Bucket. Oh. Okay, with that, we are at the point where it's the 40-minute mark, so we are going to go ahead and switch things on over here and end out the YouTube recording. So thank you very much, folks, if you are watching on YouTube and you stick around. I appreciate having you here. Please make sure that you help me out by clicking the like button, commenting on the video, and clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can also, when you do that, make sure you click that notification bell. That way you'll know when new videos come up on the channel. I do post new videos to the YouTube channel every Monday through Friday, so it's a great way to follow up and, just kind of see what we've been doing here. That all said, of course, please make sure you also check out all the links to my various social media channels down in the doobly-doo, both on YouTube and on Twitch. It's a great way to continue the conversation with me after this is all done. But with that all said, thank you very much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed, and until I see you next time, game on, lovelies.